Back again in my fancy dancy studio. Well, any port in the storm, right? So, as you can see from the thumbnail, this is all about I'm not weird, you're weird. It's been pointed out to me recently several things that I do would be classified as weird. And I would put to you that I think these things that have been pointed out to me aren't necessarily weird. I mean, I don't know, maybe. You know, I'll leave it up to you. You be the judge of whether or not you think that these four things, I probably have a dozen or more that I could ramble on about, but I chose four that have fairly recently been pointed out to me that I am, they call it, the most recent person who pointed something out to me called it a quirk. You know, you have this kind of weird quirk. Have you ever given it some thought? It's like, well, no, because it's a quirk, it's just me. All right, sorry, I rambled on enough. So, quirk number one, or weird thing number one, is I when I'm going someplace, if I have several errands that I have to run in a day, um, I'll give you an example. Last weekend, I needed to go to Nothing But Cakes, Costco, Michael's, and Stater Brothers. So, three of those places are fairly close together, and one of them is a little bit farther away. And I didn't really have any other time. Well, in my head, I have to plan out the route in my head, knowing what if I only have one or two places to go. I don't necessarily do that as much, but knowing that I had several places to go, it's like, how am I going to do this? So again, I started thinking, okay, well, I could go to Stater Brothers today on my way home from work. I could stop at Costco on my way home from work, but then I'd still have to do this. I'd still have to go here. I'd still have to go there. It's like, oh no, this is becoming a little stressful. And I want to do this as efficiently as possible so that my route can be very circuitous. Is that the right word? So I'm going from here to here to here to here to home. No backtracking. No backtracking allowed, okay? Just saying. So I have to do the whole thing in my head, even to the point where I hopped online. I looked up the four places that I had to go, except for Staters, because I know that they're like open at the crack of dawn. But I wanted to see what opened at what time so that I could, again, efficiently go from here to here to here to here. And you'll be happy to know that Nothing But Cakes opens at 9 a.m. So that meant I could go to Nothing But, Michael's, Costco. And literally it's 1, 2, 3. They're all in the very same place. I could get in and out. I wouldn't have to fight a bazillion people at Costco because, that's like a madhouse all the time. And then leaving Costco, I could make a pretty much straight shot to Staters, which is across town from me, but made more sense to do it the way that I did. And it's like, okay, whew, yeah, problem solved. But I do that all the time. If I'm going to several different places, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go see my son and daughter-in-law. And it's like, okay, well, I need to make sure I go through the car wash before Friday on the way home, which I don't always do, but stop and get gas. There's no hopping in the car and getting gas before you go, because that's a time waste. Gas station is right off the freeway, right as you're coming home. Pull right in, you get your gas, you go home, and you're good to go in the morning. Just get ready, load the car, and go. So I don't know. Does that make me weird? I mean, weigh in here. Am I the only one that does that? It would just seem to make sense to me that that's kind of how everybody does it. Why would you just get in the car and have 5 places you have to go and randomly just go here and here and here and here. That that makes my head want to explode. But again, does that make me weird? Is it a quirk? Maybe, but I don't know if that makes me weird. Eh. The second thing, and this is probably the second thing that the second highest thing that people have pointed out to me that I do, which is I talk to myself. And I don't know if that's a product of living alone for so many years. I'm going to say not, because I can remember way back in the day when my children were young, my daughter would point out to me quite frequently. She would say, "Mom, quit it." I was like, "Quit what?" "Mom, you're talking to yourself." And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not." She's like, "Mom, your lips are moving. You're talking to yourself." So it's like, okay, so now I guess it's to the point where I'm not just talking to myself in my head. It's going through my head. My lips are moving, and sometimes sound is coming out. I've actually had to kind of cover occasionally if I'm someplace where I actually catch myself doing that, and I might get a weird look or two. I'll start humming, and then that person will think, okay, she's just humming. She's just humming a song. That's normal. That's not weird at all. That's not weird at all, right? I mean, come on. Again, I can't be the only one that does that. It's easier sometimes. I mean, and yes, I do answer myself too. And I don't think that that makes me crazy or weird. I just think that I'm usually have pretty good advice for other people and for myself. Okay, just saying. Number 3, this is something I think from the time that I was able to control it myself, I am always on time. I don't do late. I don't understand people who can't be on time. I feel that my time is important. If I'm meeting you, you've asked me to be someplace at a specific time, I owe you the respect to be there at the time I say I'm going to be there. If I'm going to a party, for me, as a kid growing up, my mother was never on time, never, never, never. If we were going to church or if we were going someplace, she was never on time, and I didn't get it. And I remember feeling that weird feeling when you walked in and people would turn around and look at you like, couldn't be on time, huh? So as I got older and as I was able to manage it myself, as I said, I made sure that I'm always on time, and I'm typically 15 minutes early. And God forbid if I show up someplace that I'm meeting somebody and they're already there, it's like, oh my God, I failed. How could they possibly get there even earlier than me? I suppose I could assume that maybe they're just like me and they don't do late either. But, and I really don't think that that makes me weird. I think that that makes me respectful and considerate of other people's time. So let me just say right now, if you're somebody who isn't on time, quit it. Quit it. People don't appreciate it. And it's just not nice. Make sure you're on time. It's not hard. It's not hard. Get up a few minutes earlier. Set the clock at a different time if you need to. But being on time is important, people. And again, I don't think that makes me weird, but I would say that maybe if I have a quirk, we could put it in that category. And the last thing, I don't think that this is weird, and maybe it's a quirk. I don't know, but I get asked occasionally, why do I always back in to a parking spot? Or if I'm someplace where there are two parking spots together, I pull through so that I'm facing the right way. So all I have to do is hop in my car and get out. It was something that my dad always did. He and my grandfather worked for the phone company, and it was a thing that when they were in the company vehicle, they always had to back in. They had to back the company vehicle in. And so my dad, when he taught me how to drive, it was, the thing was always, you should back in. You should always back in. It just makes more sense. And if you think about it, I mean, it kind of does make sense that I live in a place where I have a carport. I don't have a garage. Even if I had a garage, I would back in. But I don't think it's that hard. Everybody's got backup cameras, on their car nowadays. And, it doesn't take much effort to pull a little bit forward and back the car in. And then in the morning, or whenever you're leaving, for me, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. You just hop in the car and go. And I don't think that makes me weird. Do you back in? Do you think it's a big deal? I did think when we had an earthquake a couple of weeks ago that the first thought that I thought of was, okay, if we have another earthquake, if I've got to grab a to-go bag or something, at least, well, as long as the carport doesn't collapse, I'm facing forward, I can hop in the car, I don't have to worry about backing out. And I will say that there's one person at work, the whole line of parking on the side that I park at, almost everybody backs in now. Almost everybody. Even visitors will typically back in, but there's one employee who never backs in, and we joke all of the time. And she said to me one day, I don't know how to back in. And I'm like, what? You have a backup camera. How hard can it be? I'll teach you how to back in. I haven't taught her yet, but everybody needs to know how to back in. And I guess I shouldn't really make fun of people who don't back in, because I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with people who don't do that. But to me, it makes a lot of sense. But you should know how to back in. But I have to say that I don't know how to parallel park. I could if a gun was put to my head. Well, that's really kind of a bad analogy, huh? I could if I had to. And I have parallel parked before. It just doesn't come naturally to me, to pull up next to that car, then swing the right way and know exactly when you need to swing the other way so that you can get in and pull up just right. I should practice that. Right? And then I could post, hey, guess what? I learned how to parallel park. So anyway, that's all I have to say today about my little quirks or my weirdisms. I don't know if that's a word, but I kind of like that, weirdisms. So let me know. Come on, I need some comments, people. Let me know in the comments below. Does any of this resonate with you? What weird quirks do you have that other people think that might make you maybe a little on the wacko scale? But I'm proudly on the wacko scale, just so you know, okay? So anyway, I hope everyone's doing really well. I hope you're still thinking about all of the hard things that you can do. We can all do hard things. Remember, let's get out there and do some hard things. And take good care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I will see you soon. Bye.